I come before you just to release this word over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday of March the 19th and 18th of 2023. The Lord has been talking about the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And for those who know Bible prophecy, that would be Vladimir Putin of Russia. So I will read the Ezekiel 38 verses 1 to 6. And the reason why it's significant is because war is imminent. And this prince, or what's his name, Vladimir, has been trying to restrain himself, but the United States has been acting as showing acts of aggression, and it's significant enough that this past Friday/Saturday, they did issue an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin by I believe it's the International Human Rights Courts. But I'm gonna get ready and read that verse. But the main message for the people of God is prepare for World War III. It's literally at the door, and there will be significant challenges. Honestly, it's they're setting up the stage, and unfortunately, there will be a lot of casualties. So Ezekiel 38 talks about the prince of Gog, from the land of Magog, who is the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. And there's a prophecy from the prophet of Ezekiel, who talks about how he will gather other nations together to fight against Israel. And if we know Revelation, I believe maybe it's Revelation 17, but where they talk about how it's Revelation 16. Revelation 16, they talk about how that the Euphrates River will be dried up to prepare the way of the kings of the East, and these are the kings of the East. So, and now I will get started and read. The word of the Lord came to me, Son of man, set your face against Gog of the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Prophesy against him and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against you, Gog, chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn you around, put hooks in your jaws, and bring you out with your whole army, your horses, your horsemen, fully armed, and a great herd with large and small shields, all of them brandishing their swords. Persia, Cush, and Punt will be with them, all with shields and helmets. Also Gomer with all its troops, and Beth and Turgath from the far north, will all its troops, the many nations with you. Verse 7 says, get ready, be prepared, you and all the herds gather about you, and take command of them. After many days, you will be called to arms. In the future years, you will invade a land that has recovered from war, whose people were gathered from many nations to the mountains of Israel, which had long been desolate. They had been brought out from the nations, and now all of them live in safety. You and your troops and the many nations with you will go up, advancing like a storm, and you will be like a cloud covering the land. So we give glory to God who prophesies not just for the time of Ezekiel and reveals truths, but also talks about what is to come in the many centuries, in the future. So verse 7 all the way to verse 9 talks about essentially what has happened towards the end of the Second World War, where the Israelites or the Jewish people were gathered from the European nations and were brought back and brought to Israel, and where the nation of Israel was actually established. So we see that that Russia will rise again, and that will that they will rise again and actually play a pivotal role. And so Persia, Cush, and Punt. Persia will be Iran, Iraq. That area is Persia. Cush is Sudan into Ethiopia. And Punt is Egypt and possibly Algeria. It's the northern African countries. Gomer is Germany. And Beth and Targamath. I'm not too sure what. Targamath is Turkey. So I will just leave it there. The main message is that war is imminent, and Vladimir Putin will be striking. Shalom, shalom.